in your own words. People say that to you. You know, when you hear that a lot in a classroom or in a courtroom, they'll say to you, tell us in your own words. Do you have your own words?
Oh shit, 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 oh shit.
Now, Frank Martin says there is no rehydration clause for him to fight Tank Davis. Why not? Let's talk.
Gotcha, bitch.
Straighter, not roundhouse right hand.
And that's what we've been talking about, the straight shot. The one where he gets leverage on it.
I don't want to kill
Pull
somebody
back
for
a little bit.
seconds.
Nah, I want a body on my record.
Now, I want to see you fight motherfuckers. I do. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you. As long as you're trying to fight the great, the best competition.
You're going to be there 100% once you face him. There's no rehydration clause. We expect that in a full 100% Frank Martin, right? Unless that fight's officially made.
See, that's you. That's you right there. I see this your shit. Smell that. That's you.
Now, I have been around Frank Martin. I have been around Devin Haney. Frank Martin is a bigger guy than Devin Haney. Let me say this one more time. Frank Martin is a bigger guy than Devin Haney. Now, Devin may be a little taller than Frank, but Frank is a solid dude. All right, Devin's a solid dude too, but Frank is a bigger guy. He's a bigger guy than Devin. He's a bigger guy. I know this because I've been around both of them. Frank is a bigger guy. He's a bigger guy. Like Frank's walk-around weight is bigger than Devin's walk-around weight. He's a naturally bigger guy than Devin. Now you guys may not agree with this. I don't give a fuck because I've been around them both. Frank is a naturally bigger guy than Devin is. Well, whatever. There is no rehydration clause for Gervonta Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. So Frank can weigh 135 on the scale, and then the next day he can weigh 180 if he wants to. 165 if he wants to. And nobody's caring. Frank Martin himself said there is no rehydration clause. The fight's done. They're just worried about the date and venue. That's it. Date and venue. Frank Martin will be able to weigh whatever he wants. Yeah. He'll be able to weigh whatever he wants, and nobody is going to care. Nobody cares right now. There isn't one person. I know y'all saw the interview. I saw the interview. As a matter of fact, haters put the interview in my chat. So they saw it before I did. But they left out the part where Frank Martin said there's no rehydration clause. They left that out. And they already agreed to terms. Their terms is done. They both sides agreed, terms done. Yeah, it's finished. It's complete. There is no tankomaniacs running around here telling me about a rehydration clause with Frank Martin. There's no tankomaniacs running around here talking about a catch weight with Frank Martin. None of that. There is literally no difference of Devin fighting at 135 and then rehydrating as it is with Devin fighting at 140 in rehydration. As it is with Frank Martin fighting at 135 and rehydrating. because he will rehydrate. Frank Martin will weigh probably a $155, $60 on fight night. Yeah, because most fighters, if not all of them, rehydrate 10, 15, 20 pounds on fight night. Probably more. All of them. All of them. So all these excuses about how small guy Tank is and blah, 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 yada, 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 that's fine. No problem. Mr. I knock out heavyweights and sparring, and I beat up middleweights and sparring, and Michael Fox saying I hit harder than Tim Tszyu. Yeah, all that. And Frank Martin has no rehydration clause. There is no catch weight. It's a straight up 135-pound weigh-in fight. And hasn't one person said a word. It is just Devin Haney who can't rehydrate, but everybody else can. Yeah, everybody who's disciplined and makes the weight, cuts down to make the weight, whatever weight class they want to cut down to make, and then afterwards, every last one of them rehydrate, every single one. But only Devin can't rehydrate. Just Devin. He's the only one that has to weigh whatever he's weighing on the weigh-in and fight night. But everybody else can rehydrate to whatever they want. You notice how no one cared about Regis Prograis rehydrating? So if it was up to them, Devin Haney would have been a $140 on fight night against Regis Prograis, and Regis Prograis would have been 160. It was okay for Regis to be 160. It was not okay for Devin to rehydrate, but it was okay for Regis to rehydrate. Has anybody noticed how nobody cared about Regis's weight? Whatever. Frank Martin, in his own words, told you there is no rehydration. We good. Nah. No our rehydration. Nah. We good. Nah. None of that. None of that. We good. Straight up 135. So you can have Frank Martin weigh in on the scales at 135, and then on fight night weigh 160, 165, and that's okay. So when he beats the shit out of Tank, I don't want to hear no one's mouth saying it was too much weight for Tank to overcome. Because Frank's a puncher. Yeah, Frank's a puncher. Y'all say Devin's pillow-fisted. No one says Frank's pillow-fisted. So when Frank walks into the fucking ring at 160, 165, and Tank walks into the ring at 150, 155, and Tank can't take the punches that Frank is throwing at him, then what? Oh, it was the weight. Frank Martin was so big. He was a middleweight. Frank Martin should have been fighting David Benavidez. Frank Martin was so large. Pause. Frank Martin should be fighting David Benavidez. Frank Martin should be fighting Bivol. Why ain't Frank Martin fighting Sergey Kovalev? I can't believe Frank Martin came in there weighing so much to fight Tank Davis. But there is no rehydration clause. As a matter of fact, there hasn't been a rehydration clause on no fights that Tank fought except for Barrios and Ryan Garcia. Nobody else had a rehydration. Everybody else can weigh whatever they want. Rolly Romero, weigh whatever you want. Whatever you want, Rolly. Pitbull, weigh whatever you want. Fonseca, Ricardo Nunez, Leo, all Pedraza, man, weigh whatever y'all want. Y'all good. But Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia, rehydration clause for you guys and you guys only. No rehydration clause. Nope. Catch weight, no nothing. Frank Martin. Oh, BF, why would there be a catch weight? BF? I know that's what you're going to say. You're not going to talk about the rehydration clause. Nah. Your response to me is going to be the catch weight. BF, why are you saying catch weight? There ain't a catch weight. It's straight up 135, BF. If Devin would have stayed at 135, then it would have been okay for him to just weigh whatever he wants on fight night, BF. If Devin stayed at 135, it's okay for him to weigh 150 pounds, 155 one fight night. It's okay if he would have stayed at 135. It's just because he went to 140. Y'all don't even make any sense. You didn't make any sense, but it's a beautiful thing. It's an absolutely beautiful thing that you guys don't care about the weight when it comes to Frank Martin. So if you don't care now, don't care when Frank knocks him the fuck out. Don't care when Frank beats him on the scorecards. Don't care. Make sure that's not an excuse now. Let's make sure. Make sure it's not an excuse when Frank Martin beats Tank Davis. Make sure it's not an excuse. Don't use the weight because no one's talking about it right now. So if you're not talking about the weight right now, then make sure you don't talk about the weight when Frank beats that man. Make sure. And since you don't like rematches, nobody cares about rematches, nobody wants to see rematches, make sure that when Tank loses to Frank Martin, that you let your hero know, no, Tank, no rematches. We don't care about rematches. We don't want to see that. We don't care. All we want to see is Frank Martin moving on. We need Frank Martin versus Shakur, or Frank Martin versus Lomachenko, or Frank Martin versus George Kambosos. That's what we need. Or Frank Martin versus Navarrete, or Frank Martin versus Coleslaw Davis. We need that. We don't need no Tank Davis no more. You lost. Make sure y'all keep that same no rematch energy. Make sure y'all keep it. Is what it is, man. It is what it is. I just love how y'all are not speaking about the no rehydration for Frank Martin. So it's A-OK for Frank Martin to weigh 135 and get in that ring about $160. About $160, $165 maybe? $150, $155. Yeah. Frank Martin come up in that motherfucker looking like Incredible Hulk, $170. Yeah, make sure y'all don't say nothing about the weight. Don't tell me he's looking like a middleweight, a heavyweight, a light heavyweight, a cruiser. I don't want to hear shit. Because you're not saying nothing about it now. Just keep that same energy. BFTB. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And I'm out.